What's up, everybody? It's Brandon Thug Nasty from Sinister Gaming, and in today's video I'll be going through a couple of Drytron combos. We're gonna go ahead and go through the Alpha Zeta combo in case some of you guys don't know it, but most of you Drytron players should know it by now. We'll also go through a different combo where what happens if you don't draw Alpha or Zeta, and then at the end, towards the end of the video, we'll go ahead and do a couple of test hands showing what our hands usually look like and what usually we can end on playing through zero interruptions, you know. So the Alpha Zeta combo, this is the bread and butter combo. It's the easiest combo. These are also the most important Drytrons that you run, and you also run them at 3 apiece, and you run multiple cards to be able to get the missing piece to your hand. So you end up seeing these two pretty often together, and this is pretty much the most basic, easiest combo that you can perform with only these two cards. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start off by triggering our Alpha, tributing the Zeta. So Alpha will summon itself, add the Ben 10, and then here we'll trigger Zeta, tributing the Ben 10, summon itself, and then search the ritual spell, Ben 10 effect, to search the Manju, and then we'll go ahead and normal summon the Manju. I like to combo on this side of the board, so I usually just summon the Manju where I want the rank 4 to be in the end. I want it to be here, so I'll go ahead and summon it here. Manju effect, Manju will add the Fool, and now we go ahead and start ritual summoning. So we ritual summon, you can use either one, it doesn't really matter. We'll go ahead and summon the Fool effect to target the Ben 10, add it back, and then Fool effect to ritual summon using the Ben 10. So we'll tribute the Ben 10, summon the Auk, and now both of these will get the effect. Usually you want to chain block the Ben 10, so it'll be chain link 1 Ben 10, chain link 2 Ophiel. Ophiel will go ahead and add you the second copy of Fool. Ben 10 will add you any fairy, but I usually like to go for ultimateness. It has a lot of levels, so you can use it by itself to tribute with Fool on your opponent's turn to summon Bethor, or to summon the Fool back as well. Pretty much it's just good ritual fodder, and it's a ritual monster. So if you end up like not really doing anything, or if they out the Fool before you happen to go into main phase, you can always just use it to keep playing with your Drytrons. But here, this is where I would go ahead and make the rank 4. So the rank 4 of choice for me is Abyss Dweller. You know, making it blind turn 1 usually shuts down a lot of the meta. It just tends to end certain games, like against Dino, against Salamangreat, against Eldritch. It usually tends to really put in work against those matchups. And then here we go ahead and add the Meteonis back, just to have an extra card in hand, and not have to do it later in the game. We just start off with a Meteonis for turn 2 instead of having to add it back the first thing you do in turn 2. So this loses the 1000, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna link it off into Link Karibo. So this is pretty much what I usually end on, as the most basic as possible. You know, this is literally the simplest thing we can do. We only use 2 cards, and we end on 3 cards in hand: the Meteonis, the Herald, and the second Fool. And Link Karibo on the field, Abyss Dweller, and Fool on the field as well. During my opponent's turn, I usually shotgun standby phase the Abyss Dweller just to play around talents in case they have it. You'll probably end up making talents live with Fool anyway, but you don't want it to be, you want to force the battle phase in a way. Okay, so it's pretty important what you detach. If you're going for Bethor, you detach the Ophiel to get an extra ritual monster grave. If you have an Eva or something in your hand with orange light, you detach the Manju just to get another fairy engraved to be able to banish it for Eva's cost. But yeah, so on your opponent's main phase, there's 2 things you can do. You can Megalith Fool, tribute Herald of Ultimateness to summon the Bethor, and you have 3 ritual monsters engraved with different names, so that's a pop 3. So say they try to set a couple cards and then go end phase, you can before end phase Fool Bethor, pop their back row, and then you know they can't really do much about it. Another thing you can do, which is you know, it's kind of crafty. You could go ahead and Megalith Fool, same thing. You tribute to Ultimateness, you summon the Fool, all right, and then the Fool will add you back Ben 10. And then here, usually they pass or whatever. I usually only do this if I see that they're not really gonna push through my board. because then on the follow-up turn, you draw for turn. It doesn't really matter what your draw is. You go ahead and stack these into Beatrice, and this is where the Beatrice comes into play. You Beatrice, and then you can, because now they're both level 6, so you could go into Beatrice, hard make Beatrice, and then use Beatrice's effect to send another Drytron to grave, right? So you could go ahead and send either the Delta or the Gamma, right? Either of these, and then you already have the ritual spell for the Delta, so you can just summon it back, reveal the ritual spell, which they know, so you're not giving away any information. You can also reveal the Benton, or you can just summon back the Gamma and summon another one from grave, and then you have enough material to go into a Boral Sword and go ahead and end the game right there. That's it's really easy to just make Boral Sword Beatrice, or really anything like that. It's that's pretty much the most basic combo. Okay, so this combo we're gonna try our hardest to end on the same ending as the same end board as the last time, except we're gonna be missing the Link Rebo. Here we have Alpha and Benten. It's very easy to get to Alpha, and I believe you only have 2 other ways besides hard drawing the Benten, which is Prep Rights and the Manju to get to Benten. But this is still not so often opened, but you do see this from time to time, and this is without Zeta. So one of the most important things to prioritize is getting to your ritual spell. Okay, so here we're gonna go ahead and go Alpha, tributing Benten. Alpha is gonna go ahead and search the Fool Benten effect to search out the Manju. Okay, so then here we'll go normal summon Manju, and then Manju effect will search out the ritual spell, and here's where we ritual summon. So we ritual summon using Alpha, summon the Fool effect to add back the Benten, and then here we use Fool's effect to ritual summon from the deck, tributing the Benten. We'll go ahead and summon the Ophiel. We'll go chainlink 1 Benten, chainlink 2 Ophiel. Ophiel will search the Fool. Benten again will search the Ultimateness. And here we just go rank 4 into the Abyss Dweller again. And we have a very similar setup as last time. The only difference is, again, we don't have the Link Rebo, so they might threaten battle phase, but it's not that big of a deal. Again, we just go ahead and shotgun the Bethor, and then we have the same setup. You know, we can on their turn, Fool effect, tribute Ultimateness, summon Fool, add back Benten, or we can very well tribute Ultimateness to summon the Bethor, the pop 3. So it's still a very similar setup as last time. The only difference again is that we don't have the Link Rebo protecting our board. But again, it's not that big of a deal. If you tend to, you know, against certain decks, you pop their normal summon, they just pass. Against back row decks, a lot of them will probably just try to get rid of Fool. So that's where you go ahead and just summon the other one, get the Benten back to keep playing. It's a very simple setup, but you can really play a lot with this. Okay, so this is pretty much the same combo that we just showed. The only difference is we're going to use Zeta instead of Alpha, but it's pretty much the exact same, and we're going to do the same thing, end with the same board, and just follow a slightly different route. Okay, so it's Zeta and Benten this time. So you trigger Zeta, tributing Benten. Zeta adds you the ritual spell. Benten will go ahead and add you the Manju. Then you normal summon the Manju. This time you go for the Fool, and then we ritual summon. Summon the Fool effect to add back the Benten. Fool effect to ritual summon, tributing Benten. Summon Ophiel. We'll go chainlink 1 Benten, chainlink 2 Ophiel. Ophiel will get you the second Fool. Benten will get you the Ultimateness. Okay, and then here we go for the rank 4 again. Into the Dweller. And then same thing, we just standby phase, play on our opponent's turn, summon whatever we need to summon. It's just this time we did it with Zeta and Benten instead of Alpha and Benten. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and run through a couple test hands and see what we could put up. Again, I'm gonna be playing through no interruptions since these are just test hands. Of course, if you get interrupted, there's always a good point to pivot or maybe just end up making a little bird and passing. Okay, so Here we go. We're going to go ahead and draw 5. So we drew Emergency, Preparations, Alpha, Ophiel, and Zeta. So here we go. We have the Alpha Zeta. So we have combo right there, right? We can save Preparations towards the end just to get us where we need to get to. We also have a Cyber Emergency to go ahead and get us another Drytron name. So we'll go ahead and do the Alpha Zeta combo. Again, Alpha Tribute Zeta. Go ahead and search the Benton. So we add the Benton, and then we'll go Zeta, Tribute Benton, to go ahead and add the Ritual Spell, Benton Effect. We'll go ahead and add the Manju. And then here we go, Manju Effect. Get us the Fool. We Ritual Summon the Fool, and then Full Effect will add us back the Benton. And then this same thing, even though we hard drew the Ophiel, Fool lets you summon from deck or hand. So we'll go ahead and summon the Ophiel. And we'll go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Here we have the prep in hand. So we will instead go ahead and get the Orange Light. And off of Benton, and then Ophiel will go ahead and still get us the second copy of Fool. Okay. And then here we go ahead and still make the rank 4. We can Preparation Rites here just to protect us. We can't get Ultimateness, but we can still get the Natasha. And this is why it's still good to play the Natasha, and then we add back the Midionis without making this lose 1,000. Not that it really matters, but it is something. And then we'll go ahead and Cyber Emergency. Cyber Emergency will get us the Gamma. And now that we didn't make this lose 1,000, it has 2,000, so we can summon back the Benton. So we'll go ahead and summon back the Benton. And now we have Nibiru Protection, but we're gonna get even better Nibiru Protection. So now we'll go ahead and trigger Gamma, and then Benton will get its effect. And here we get the Eva. So now we have Herald and Eva, Megalith Fool and Natasha, and we'll get the Midionis back. So Midionis, target Alpha, get this back. And here, instead of making Link Rebo, we'll make IP. Okay. So this is a standard hand. Again, no interruptions, but you know, it is what it is. It's a test hand, and at any point you could have pivoted. You could have not added Manju first. You could have just added, since we had the prep rights, we could have just added Fool with the prep rights and then added the Manju later if you just wanted to add one of your negates first. But so this time we ended on IP, Fool, Dweller, and we have Midionis in hand, Natasha, Fool, Orange Light, and Eva. And so of course for their standby phase, when we activate Dweller, we want to detach the Manju. For later, when we do end up using Herald, we can go ahead and just banish the Manju and the Orange Light with Eva, and go ahead and search the other two level 2 fairies, which is Petite Angel and another Orange Light. So this is very basic, but it's just it's what every hand can get you, and not every hand, but this is what a decent hand will get you, a good hand actually. And anything less than that, you will end with the same thing, except this will be a Link Rebo instead, and you might be able to get a draw or something here every now and then. But thank you so much. This is the Drytron combo tutorial video that I wanted to have set up for you guys. Go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh content.